Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today we've got another month, another devlog. So today's devlog is for Prehistoric Kingdom, or we could probably say Dev Diaries, probably a bit better now. But it's really excited to see more of these, and we've got a couple really cool updates coming with progress, some new things coming for the beta, closed beta, and the next update for that, and then the early access release. So that'll be really cool, and we'll be going through all of those. But first, to start off, we're going to be going through some of the wonderful state of development, things like that. Good overview. So welcome to the March update. In this month's post, we'll be sharing some new features that will be introduced before early access launch, and briefly discussing some of the technical challenges we've had to overcome before the next update is released. So we got a development diary. So the state of development at the moment, it seems that due to unfortunately timed technical issues over the last few weeks, we've had to delay the long-awaited poop update. I know that's a tragedy. We were all waiting for the poop update, but sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles. But yeah, so most of the content of the patch is now finished and currently being tested. We've merged the two next major updates in one together, so that means it's going to be a bit of a meaty one, so that's always awesome. But some final implementations will still need to be completed before the patch and new features are ready to go live. So we're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Closed beta players can expect this update shortly before early access released in April. So that's really awesome, and coming closer. The next devlog should be about the release. So if you weren't already aware, the public roadmap highlighting some of the upcoming plans can be found over on our Trello page, and has been updated to align with our current plan for the closed beta and early access launch. So if you guys in your own time want to have a look at the Trello, it's pretty public. You just need to click that link there, and it'll take you there, and you can see kind of the plans until early access and all the kind of updates that we want to see what's happening for Prehistoric Kingdom. So really awesome. So first we're going to go through the update for beta, so beta 2.0.4, so that's the next one. So let's take a look at some of the headlining features coming to the closed beta 0.4 update. Like all patches, the full changelog will be available on Steam until its release, upon its release I mean. We've got some really cool animals today. So our first animal, we've got one of my favorite dinosaurs of all time. We have got the Brachiosaurus. So coming to closed beta is the Brachiosaurus. This colossal creature will certainly draw plenty of guests to your park to witness its towering scale. So we can see there's been a bit of an update to it as well. Oh, sorry, burp. What we have here is kind of a really interesting changes to it. We can see if we compared it to the old Brachiosaurus, it was very fat, big, thick neck, but here it just looks so beautiful. We can see it's got a bit of a neck trim. Looks much nicer though. I think it's much. It just looks much better, I think. But fits the anatomy better as well, because I think a lot of people get confused and think Giraffatitan, because Giraffatitan is much more well known than Brachiosaurus in terms of its anatomy. So most of the renditions of Brachiosaurus in popular media are Giraffatitan actually, but these guys are the proper Brachiosaurus, as you can see, with the longer skull and things like that. It really came out beautifully, and we can see some changes to the skin. I believe one of the older skins, I forgot the name of it, but it's like the red one with the stripes, has got a bit of an update as well, and I think it just looks so beautiful. Really fits this more realistic version, and the wonderful textures as well. You can see all the scales, the really fine scales in it, all the muscle definition. I think it just looks wonderful. It folds the skin as well. Beautiful. Dream. And if you had a gun to my head, I'll pick my favorite dinosaur as Brachiosaurus, and I'm really excited to give this a go. In fact, I may not do this, but I kind of have an idea. I want to do like a big sauropod enclosure and like research and like talk about husbandry and things like that, and go into and try and create like this pseudo husbandry thing for these animals. So I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, so that's our first picture. Our second picture of the Brachiosaurus, more of a first-person eye view. Probably not exactly, but really shows the scale of it. These guys being more than 10 meters tall, I believe, up to 15, probably at the tallest. Some huge animals, and guests will come a running, as it says here. Guests will come a running. Certainly draw attention from your guests, plenty of attention as well as to your park to witness its towering scales. So bloody awesome. I'm a big fan. Knockout park of design, the simplest one, but also the most, I think, really cool animal. But as well, we've got a big thumbs up from Iguanodon. So even with its unconventional looks, we think this classic duck-billed herbivore will be a fan favorite for everyone in every park. So look at this wonderful guy. It's one of the first dinosaurs, if not the first dinosaur discovered. I'm a really big fan. It just looks so beautiful. I'm a big fan of the scales in it. We really liked that really gnarly design. I think it fits Iguanodon quite well. So this is a big, butty, dangerous animal with these big thumb spikes and these big forelimbs, big and bulky. So why not give it lots of spikes and things? And we can see here, especially on the face, a lot of those big scales, a lot of osteoderms and feature scales as well. Really came out wonderfully, and you can see all the details, especially on the arms as well. I'm a big fan. You can see some other skins in the background there. All the spikes going down the tail, wonderful. And my favorite skin absolutely came out wonderfully. This is the Burien Skin. So this is based by Zedric Burien, or Zedinsky Burien, I believe how you pronounce it. He was an older paleontologist, like kind of in the same era as like Charles L. Knight and people like that. But he really just came out wonderfully. Absolutely beautiful, and you can see the wonderful changes to it there. You can see the wonderful red head and the dark body. It gives a wonderful contrast, and then you can see the darkness or the grey body kind of really shows off these feature scales. You can see they're quite big around their forelimbs, because obviously if you're using the thumb spikes for fighting with each other, you want to protect kind of your chest and things like that. And yeah, just looks beautiful. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the gnarly design of the Iguanodon, and I think it really helps it set apart from the other ornithopods. So two absolute banger of designs. Prehistoric Kingdom never falters. It's so good. I'm a big fan. And included with that, we've also got another new additive animations that have been included for all the betas, animals in the beta. These play while wandering around and add a bit more life and creativity to the animals. So add a little bit more life to them. Very awesome. And next we've got animal welfare and poop. So in 0.4, the first wave of animal welfare will make its way into your parks. Players will need to tend to the unique habitat requirements of each species and ensure they have access to food sources. So that's kind of the most basic aspect of it. With food, there must also come poop. So a detector in habitat cleanliness and score as well. And you can read about that in the previous post. That's for February last month. Talking about the poop mechanics. That was supposed to come a bit earlier, but there have been some issues, as I mentioned above. So we can see here, this is kind of an example in the UI. Chunky being a really beautiful T-Rex, having a nice yawn. We can see the sizing, closures, all that. And we can see cleanliness is pretty good. There's no poops there, so obviously very happy and healthy. So failing to care for welfare will lower a paddock's exhibit score and the park rating. So making it harder to make money in science points, as we will explain soon. It's really will affect your growth of your park. So not making sure if it's not clean enough and it doesn't meet your animals' needs, it will severely affect your money in science as well. And in the future, if you really have poor welfare, it will lead to illness and eventually death. So that's sad, but so you don't want Big Chunky here to die because you neglected him. Just take care of him. He deserves it. Look at him. He's beautiful. How can you not? So next we've also got science points and exhibit score. So by clicking on a habitat perimeter fence, players can view its exhibit score and habitat statistics. It's here that you'll find the information of how well designed a paddock is, how large it is, etc., etc. So it kind of tells you all the information you need. So you can, if you need to make it bigger, if you need to change anything to better fit the animals inside, things like that, you can get that information quickly. And as well, at the beginning of each month, Players will be rewarded with total worth of exhibit score of the park via the science points. So if you have lots of really, really good enclosures, everything's good, you'll get lots of science points. But if you have really bad enclosures, you'll be punished. So this resource can be spent unlocking animals or skins in the excavations menu. So if you want to get more skins and stuff, you got to make sure the animals you already have are happy and healthy, of course. And moving on from that a little bit to explain the science points and exhibit score, we've got the temperate map and additional foliage. So we're moving on to the United Kingdom. So we're bringing prehistory back to the United Kingdom with an all-new temperate map, with 9 new foliage variants have been added to expand the visual diversity of our temperate lineup. So lots of really, really cool plants, as we can see here, and this is the makings of a park in the UK. We can also see really nice temperate with the rolling hills, really reminiscent of the UK. And you can also see here, you have the recently state icons on above here. So that's communicate facilities or paddocks that desperately need your attention. So you can see here, this one needs a path, this one needs power, this needs water. So I think that's really, really cool and a way to really do it visually, because often a Planet Zoo has this issue. It just says issue needed, and then you have to go look for it and click through screens. But with these little icons here, it can take you directly to the problem to help you fix it. So I think that really, really helps as well. Really, really good. It's very City Skylines-esque, to be honest. And I know that's probably one of the bigger inspirations for Prehistoric Kingdom. And finally, I'm really excited to see this. We have got Sandbox Mode. So beginning in Beta 0.4, players will be able to start a challenge or sandbox game for their updated new game menu. Customizable settings available in the patch include a starting cache that includes an infinite toggle, the starting science points, which includes an infinite toggle as well, infinite power, animal habitat welfare, and unlock all animals. So more options will be added to Sandbox as new mechanics are introduced, so that'll be over time. And all previous saves will be converted to Sandbox upon the arrival of Beta 0.4 for compatibility reasons. So if you've already got some parks, they'll be turning into Sandbox soon. But really, really awesome to see that we're finally getting Sandbox so we can show off. I really want to do like a couple videos showing off all the new animals that have come in the beta. But yeah, really, really awesome to see this wonderful guy here. So this is a Parasaurolophus, the Walker Skin, I believe. Looks beautiful. Big fan. And so this is all that's coming in Beta 0.4, and now we're going to have some upcoming developments as well. So we got a tropical map. So it's set in the sunny paradise of Costa Rica, unlike kind of similar to another park that we know of. Hint, hint, wink, wink. The upcoming tropical map provides stunning scenery and deep, humid forests, perfect for your prehistoric menagerie. This locale will be available at the launch of early access. So this is very much like another park that we are very familiar with, especially spawned a few games and things like that. And you can see it really reminds me of like Isla Nublar and all that, with the high mountains and things like that, and the wonderful foliage really does scream that to me. So awesome. And it's nice that we get to kind of almost have like a little reference in there. I think it's cool having a Costa Rican map so we can make almost like a pseudo Jurassic Park. I think that's awesome. But yeah, next we've got a new animal. We've got Sotakasaurus. So we saw this guy last month, but like we teased last month, Sotakasaurus will be coming to early access, but we've got 3 distinct species. So each have a different sizes and also different facial horns and spikes, so that gives a lot of variation. Sotakasaurus has up to 12 species in its genus, so it's really cool that we get to look at some of that diversity. And today we're having a look at the biggest species, Sotakasaurus sibiquurus. So this is big Sibiquurus. So we can see these guys got quite big. They got like 2 or 3 meters long. Very, very big animals, especially the larger species of Sotakasaurus. And what really sets it apart are these wonderful face here. So you can see it's got these really, really big jugal horns here and really other big horns across its face. Very box-like face as well. And I'm a really big fan of this design. You can see that there's lots of little skin tabs across it that really gives it almost that knobbly like stone look. And the grayish, I think, really fits that as well, along with the white. And then we can also see this really cool reddish on the face. I think that really gives it like almost like a rusted look, and I think that looks really awesome, especially on the horns. Brings attention to the face as well. I'm a big fan of this design. Always a big fan of these guys. So yeah, and of course it'd be a missed opportunity to not give you another look at the smallest parrot lizard, so Sotakasaurus spur. And the team hopes you're just as excited as we are to watch these little gremlins wander across the habitats. So here's another look at this wonderful guy. This is Tacosaurus spur. This is the one that's based on the specimen that we know the colors and the filaments come from. So this is probably the most accurate dinosaur in prehistoric kingdom at the moment, probably tied with Microraptor. So I think that's a really cool little fact. And we know because it has preserved specimen. This is from the Ixchan, preserved. We have a look at the melanin in the skin, and we have also preserved filaments as well, as we can see here on the tail. And then we can also see the skin tabs here as well. It's pretty accurate, and we know it had like this brownish, reddish coloring spotted pattern to it, and I think it's just really cool that we get to show off these new discoveries as well, and have a really accurate dinosaur. This is pretty much what it would have looked like in life, and it's almost like looking at a real dinosaur. It's just incredible. I'm a big fan of Sotakasaurus spur, and also Cibicus is Cibicorus is really awesome. Big fan. And next we've got the tutorial. So we asked for help and we listened, and introductory tutorial will be included within the early access launch and narrated by the legend himself, Nigel Marvin. So awesome. This tutorial will be a masterclass in prehistoric kingdoms basics, from animal welfare to turning a profit, and you'll be an expert park manager in no time. So speaking of Nigel, at launch he'll be providing players with an assortment of facts, over 90 lines, for all your newly bred species. Occasionally he may even pop up when revisiting old species to provide more information. So below you can hear an early preview meeting our lovely Parasaurolophus for the first time, featuring our 3 facts, one of 3 facts, and it's a bunch of audio processing and effects that have yet to be done, but we thought we'll showcase a little bit of dialogue before the game's released next month. So this is a really wonderful little tease here, so we'll have a little looky-loo. So sit and listen.
Now that, my friend, is a beautiful dinosaur. Almost like a musical instrument, Parasaurolophus used their crest for long-distance communication. The crests are made out of bone riddled with hollow tubes, which help amplify that beautiful singing voice of theirs. You're listening to the first orchestra on Earth.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Came out wonderfully. So that's a little bit of information from Nigel Marvin talking about the crest and how it was used to resonate sound in Parasaurolophus. And I love just how the giddiness of it. He's just explaining it. He's just passionate, and I really love it. He's like, oh, look at this, how cool this is. And I really just love that energy that he has. It's really cool to see him in the game. So that's awesome. So in time, we'll be expanding the dialogue to include alerts and pointing out potential problems within the park. And the team is also very interested in creating additional characters for Prehistoric Kingdom and developing playable scenarios beyond the initial tutorial. So you hope you enjoy your first taste of what is to come. So I think that's really cool. We might get some scenarios. Be very interesting if we got a campaign, but I don't know about that. That could be something cool to see, but that's really, really awesome. I'm a big fan of that. And last, most certainly not least, we've got a new trailer. So it seems, finally, we're very excited to share that the release date for Early Access will be announced in a new trailer coming out next month. We want to thank everyone for their patience and assure you that Early Access is still scheduled to be released in late April 2022. So keep an eye out on our socials for our new trailer premiere, and we'll definitely keep our eyes open for that and cover it when we can. So here we've got the community spotlight, and I got a shout out to this video by Miss T-Rex. This was a really awesome video with her son coming in. That was really cute, and a nice exhibit as well. Camarasaurus is awesome, and this was created by Miss T-Rex, of course. Definitely recommend this. It's a fun video. We've got by Warpath, who seems to be a common feature in this game, in these spotlights, because he makes some wonderful things. You can see this like a visitor center. Came out beautifully, it seems, and really awesome. It's so awesome to see that. And we've got here a nice skin for the Brachiosaurus by Mr. Mugman. Really big fan of that. Kind of reminds me of, Carpi. Came out wonderfully. I'm a big fan. So, thank you all for reading March's Dev Diary. Well, hope you've enjoyed this month's development update. Our team will be working incredibly hard to the lead up to early access as we eagerly await the next chapter to Prehistoric Kingdom that can be shared with everyone worldwide. So until next time, the BK team. So we're finally, this is like the home stretch until the release of early access. So that's going to be so awesome to see. Such a big fan. Incredible. The design's incredible. I can't wait to go in through and play it. We'll make some videos. I want to do, I've mentioned that sauropod habitat. We can play around. We can almost like try and make some husbandry things, because I feel like with dinosaurs we could almost create like these new kind of husbandry things as well. I think that's so awesome. But yeah, that's only the future. We need to realize it. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to get the little bell icon to get notified about anything. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye bye.